everyone, it's Cloud Gaming, and today we're gonna play Game Developer Tycoon. Yes, Game Developer Tycoon. So, let's get started, shall we? I think we shall. Now, there's an old save of an earlier game that I tried doing, so we're gonna go ahead and start a new game. So, I will be narrating, if you don't mind, so let's start. Hello there! It seems you have already played before. You can get into the development and skip the tutorial messages. Note that you can always review tutorial messages, even the ones that you have skipped, in the help menu while you play the game. So, for this let's play, we're gonna skip the tutorial because I feel like I'm more than capable of explaining this game myself. So, welcome to Game Developer Tycoon. In this business simulation, you have been transported back in time to the start of your very own game development company, right at the beginning of the PC revolution. In the next 30 years, you can build your dream company, create the best-selling games, gain fans, and become the leader of the free market. So, before you can start your adventure, you have to give your upcoming company a name. So, I feel like we should name our company Cloud Games, because that sounds awesome, and that we should name our main character Cloud. Yeah, that seems like the good thing to do. So, we're gonna give our character this type of hair and this shirt, because everyone knows that these shirts are cool, I think. So, the game length is going to be 35 years, or at least the time it takes for the revolution to start. Not the American Revolution, the PC Revolution. So, let us start. We're gonna start in slot 1 and say yes. And here, you can start here, if you're following along while playing the game, is where you can start your new game. So, all you have to do is left click on the screen and press develop new game, as you can see here. And you will find this nice little box that opens up, showing you all the things that you can do with your game. Now, before you start the game, you normally want to see what it's about before you title it. So, for example, let's name this one a sports simulation, or make it a sports simulation, and name it, I don't know, Sports Academy. Let's name it Sports Academy, because that sounds like sports simulation. Or sports games. I'm not sure, as I'm not an avid sports fan. So, this is where you can pick our platform. We can either put it on the Commodore 64, or at least the analog to it, because they don't have the rights to name things. So we can either do it on the Commodore 64, which is cost 20,000, but has more of the market share, or we could do it on the PC, which only costs 5,000 but has less of the market share. I say we're going to do it on the PC. So let's continue, and from here we can choose what type of graphics we want to have in our game. Now, we can either choose text-based, which are only 5,000, or 2D graphics version 1, which are 10,000. I say we'll choose 2D graphics version 1. So, let us start our development. Now, as you can see, these little bubbles are popping up. Those bubbles are the progress bars in what you have. Now, I know that the development stage 1 boxes came up, but let me explain these bubbles a few more. The red bubbles are bugs. These are things that you're going to have to fix once you finish the game. The orange bubbles are design. Those show how good your game looks. The light blue bubbles are technology. That shows how technical your game is. And the dark blue bubbles are your research points, which I will explain later. So, let us start development stage 1 on Sport Games 1, which is a sports simulation. Now, if you want to make a sports simulation, you're not normally going to want to have so much stories and quests. You're going to focus more on the gameplay and the engine, a bit more on the engine eventing. So, something like that. So, let's move on, and as you can see, our character is producing lots and lots of points that are going into our game. Now, this is development stage 2, where we can choose how much dialogues, how much level design, and how much artificial intelligence our game should have. Now, for a simulation, we don't want any dialogues. Or if we do, we barely want any at all. But I'm gonna make none. So, we're gonna want high level design and high artificial intelligence. So, something that looks like this. And we're gonna say okay to that and continue on the development of our new game. Now, you might be noticing this, development stage 3 has came, but I'm going to focus on the thing that's on the top right corner. That is the time, that is the date. Right now it's the first year of our company, the second month of our company, and the second week of our company. And below we have the amount of money that we have to build our game. We have 47,000 in banks. So, development stage 3. Over here, we can pick world design, graphics, and sound, but we can also select features to our games, like the graphics and the sound. I'm going to say we're going to have basic sounds, low world design, and okay graphics, and high sound, because that seems like the best thing to do. So, as you can see, our game has been finished, but we still have bugs. Normally, you're going to want to wait for all the bugs to disappear until you finish your game. And once you do that, you will get a summary of what you've done, along with the experience that you've got in those things. So as you can see, we're leveling up in all these things, and we got 11 points in design and 14 points in the technology. So, at this point, you want to decide whether you want to trash the game or release it. So I'm going to say we're going to release this game. And after you wait a few seconds, the reviews will come in. Now the reviews dictate how many people are going to buy your game. So you're going to want to hope that you get good reviews. As you can see, we got a 7, which is normally a good review. We got another 7, which is another good review. We got a 6, which isn't as good, but still really good. And we got an 8. So that gives us an average of 7. And if you want to know your average, you can check here, along with the amount of units you sold, the cost, and all these other things. So now once you wait a week, you will get the game to be released. But until then, you won't see the news. The news is that Cloud Games, a newcomer in the game industry, has just released their first game, Sports Games 1. The game received favorable reviews. With such a good start, Cloud Games are sure to gain fans quickly. And as you can see, we are in the top right corner. That's the amount of games that we have made. Since in the first week of sales, Sports Games 1 sold 5,563 units in its first week on the market. We made it in the charts at 21, and you can check that over there. In fact, Sports Games 1 was so successful that we now have 32 fans. And as you can see, we are only gaining more and more money as we get more sales. In fact, the sales record says that Sports Games 1 has achieved the company sales record of over 10,000 units. Hooray! This is an important milestone in the history of Cloud Games. So, now, there are a few things that we can do. We can develop another new game, we can research, or we can check our game history. Now the game hasn't finished on the market, so we probably want to research. And this is where our research points comes in. Now over here you can check. You can see that we can do two things, either develop a new topic or a custom game engine. Now, a new topic costs 10 research points, while a custom game engine costs 50. We don't have enough research points to make a custom game engine, so we're going to make a new topic. And that new topic is going to be sci-fi. And once you start research, a blue bar is going to go on the top of your avatar's head, and he is going to start researching the topic. Got that? Good. So, once he's successfully researched the topic, you will get a notification. But now that we've researched a new topic, why not make a game about that new topic? So we shall develop a new game. So, we're going to call this game, well, first we're going to figure out what this game is. It's going to be a sci-fi strategy game, like other games that are called StarCraft. But no one cares about that, because this game is called Alien Defense. It's actually more of an XCOM game, but who cares? Not you, certainly. You just want to see me play this game, or else you wouldn't have clicked on the video. So, as you can see, the market share for these two platforms has changed. Now, PCs have a bit more of the market share than than they did previously, and the Commodore 64 has less. I mean, it's a minority, but they're still losing, but it's still something. So we're gonna pick the PC, and then we're gonna pick 2D Graphics version 1, and as you can tell, the game thought that we would repick 2D Graphics version 1. So you want to keep that in mind. So now we're gonna start the development on our second game. Yay! As you can see, we're getting new points. Now, a strategy game, we don't need too much story, but we do want story. We're going to want high focus on the engine, and not as much of a focus on the gameplay. Or, I don't play much strategy games, so excuse me if I'm getting this all wrong, but I believe that's how it works. So, we're not going to want as much dialogues, maybe a bit of dialogues, but we're going to focus more on the artificial intelligence for the enemy, and some level design. Still not as much dialogues. So, other news is that the game, Sports Games 1, is now off the market. It sold 17,831 units, generating in 124,848 sales. If I'm mumbling, apologies. But, I'm sorry. So, here's the development stage 3. And I believe that the world design is a bit more important, sound isn't as important, and graphics are quite important. So, as you can see, our development stopped. That happens from time to time. It doesn't mean that your character is dead, don't worry. So, as you can see, I'm waiting for the bugs to stop, and now we can release our game. As you can see, we have 12 points in design and 13 points in technology. And we have a bonus of 1.6 experience because it's a new topic, a new combo, and a great combo at that. So, as you can see, there's a nice amount of experience. We haven't leveled up yet, but we've gained experience. So now we're going to release this game, and as you can see now, the game reviews have just came in. So, let's see, we got an 8, which is always nice. We got a 7, which is also nice. We got another 8, and we got a 6, which is, I'm pretty sure 7.5? No, 7.25. Apologies. But now that our game's making money, let's see how many sales we get in the first week. We got loads of sales. But who cares about that? Everyone cares about contract work. Hi there, I've just finished Alien Fence 1 and I'm impressed by your talent. I'm in the contracting business and we could use skills like yours. If you're ever short on cash, just let me know and I will see if I have some work for you. Jason. That's very nice. Now, since you talked to us, we can do contract work. Contract work is basically trying to get this much design and research and technology points in a set amount of time. So, for example, we could take sprite sheet technologies. And as you can see, we are building research points, taking them down. But who cares about that? Everyone cares about industry news. Recent market studies suggest that Commodore 64, which is the analog to the Commodore 64, just to remind you, is steadily outselling competitors in the PC sector. Consumers prefer the lower price, greater availability, and flexible hardware configuration over other home computers. And that's okay. So, experts might say that this spelled the end of competing hardware manufacturers, and that is proof that experts are dumb. So, as you can see, we have finished our contract deal, and it says that it would hire again, and we will transfer 12,000 to our account. So Jason here, I just got word from the client that contract was completed successfully. Excellent work. Usually I have new contracts every 6 months, so check back sometime. Now excuse me as I catch my breath, because talking that much is painful after you do it for a long time. Give me a second. I'm back. Nothing happened. I just drank some water. So, now, what we can do is we can find contract work, research, see our game history, or develop a new game. We're gonna research. Why? Because I said so. So, we can research racing games, fantasy games, government games, or pirate games. I say we're gonna research racing games, because government games seems like an old topic. So let's start our research. Shall we? Yes, we shall. So, as you can see, the blue bar is filling up. And also you can see that Alien Defense 1 is now off the market. It sold 17,465 units, generating in 122,290 in sales. That in whatever money you use, I guess. But luckily we've successfully researched a new topic, racing! Hooray! So, now we have racing, let's make a new racing game. And let's call it Need for Cars, because Need for Cars is a reference to Need for Speed. A game that I don't have, but know about. So let's make it a racing simulation, even though Need for Speed probably isn't a racing simulation, I don't know. Again, I've never played before. And also you might notice that the PC has lower market share than the Commodore 64 has. But that will change, trust me. So, we're gonna make our game on the PC, and it's gonna be 2D graphics version 1, not text-based. Because if you've ever played a text-based racing simulation, you would know that's bad. I've never, but it's probably bad. Back me up here. Anyway, let's start our development. So, as you can see, we have the development stage 1, and we don't want much stories or quests, maybe a bit. We do want a bit more focus on the gameplay. We wanted a good simulation. Really high focus on the gameplay, not as much on the engine. We don't need much of a good engine. But who cares about that? Interesting news is always nice. According to rumors, the Japanese company Invento is planning to launch its very own home gaming console. Nintendo is known for a widely successful arcade game, Donkey Kong. If you're wondering, Invento is the analog to Nintendo. It's a bit of a no-brainer, but you might be wondering. Many industry experts doubt that the home gaming console will take off, but are eager to see what Nintendo will deliver. So, this is again proof that experts are never right. Don't trust experts. So, as you can see, we are making much more research. Not really, it's the same amount. But, who cares about my mumbling? Everyone cares about artificial intelligence and level design. Not really. That's nice. So, as you can also see, we are building up lots of research. We can use this later for making our game engine, but we don't need that yet, luckily. So now we can decide how little world design we need, how much sound we need, and how much graphics we need. So hopefully this will suffice. Everybody knows that word, who cares? So, as you can see, we have finished our game, Need for Cars 1. But we will finish the bugs, and now finish the game. So, as you can see, we have a great combo, and we've leveled up lots of stuff, including ourselves. Now we are level 2, and we make much more design points and technology points and research points much quicker, and much less bugs. So let's release this game and wait for the ratings or the game reviews. So, apparently, someone gave our game a 5, someone gave our game a 5, someone gave our game a 5, and someone gave our game a 6, which is a 5.25. Yes, it is. So let's wait for our game to go on the market. I doubt it will sell as well because it didn't get much of an amazing rating, but hopefully it will sell well enough. So as you can see, we're making lots and lots of money. And also, the industry news says that today Invento has confirmed recent rumors and announced their plans to release a new home gaming console called the NES in the coming months. The console features cartridge-based games and a uniquely designed controller. And I'm sorry if I'm mumbling, I apologize. So, as you can see, our game is making lots and lots and lots of money. But I feel like that's a good enough episode 1. So, I feel I'll save this game here. Save. And